Hello guys, Bobby Drives here. So today I've got a Jaguar E-Pace. It is a D180 Auto. It's also the HSE spec, which we'll go through in a little while. But we're going to go around, check out the car from the inside and outside, get to know its features and take it from there. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, do hit the bell notification button for new videos, and don't forget to follow me at Bobby Drives. So guys, let's start with a bit of details about the car. This is Jaguar's first compact SUV. It's in line with the BMW X1, the Audi Q3 and even the Mercedes GLA. And I think from outset it is a really good looking car. This one being the HSC has got slightly bigger wheels, it's got more of aggressive bumpers and rear bumper, but it all goes together. The unfortunate thing is this is actually built on the same platform or chassis as a Range Rover Evoque, and that's been out for many years now. So this is quite a heavy car. The bigger sister to this is the Jaguar F-Pace, and that is a big 4x4, which is, comparison to Range Rovers, BMW X5, Mercedes GLE. However, this is 75 kilos heavier than the bigger 4x4, and that goes down to being the same platform as the Range Rover Evoque. So guys, let's start with looking around the car. Welcome to the front. Now, I love this grille that they have, the beautiful Jaguar design, but these sporty little badges that are dynamic. So the R dynamic means you get slightly sportier wheels, a sportier front bumper and a rear bumper. You don't get much chrome on a car, and we'll look around that as we go around. But impressive frontage with the lights that are all LEDs, daytime running, and what you'll get nowadays in most cars. But yeah, really bright, light the road really well. Now this car being the HSC version, you do get the upgraded 20-inch alloy wheels, and what's really nice, they're like two-tone. You've got like a darker grey in the middle, but the fronts are off a diamond cut finish. But yeah, really sporty. I also like the Jaguar side badges with the HSC, with this little bit of a hexagonal print which matches the front grille. Really sporty. And this is the back of the car. Now I would say this is generally a really good looking car. I love how there's not much chrome going around, being a bit more sporty and a bit more edgy. That is your reversing parking camera. You've got your parking sensors down here, and also you've got dual exhaust. What's really nice, they're actually fitted into the bumper and they're real. Now moving on to the boot. Now this boot's bigger than its competitors. It's bigger than the BMW X1. It's bigger than the Audi Q3. As you see it right now, this has 577 litres. If you did push the seats down, that goes to 1234 litres. And it's quite a good size. What I do like, there's not much of a lip here. So if you've got some suitcases, you can take out quite easy. You do have a little bit more storage underneath. Next thing I want to move on to are the engine variations. Now there's quite a few. The best way to go through them is that you have two platforms. You either have a 2-litre diesel or a 2-litre petrol. Starting with the diesels, you can get them starting from 150 brake horsepower, 180 brake horsepower, which is this one, or you can go for 240 brake horsepower, which is a D240, or you can go over to the petrols, which are twin turbo as well. You can start with one which has 249 brake horsepower, and then you've got the biggest one, which is a P300, and that's got 300 brake horsepower, and that will get you 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds. Bear in mind, this car does weigh nearly 1.8 tonnes, so it's a lot of weight that is lugging around. They don't do actually any 3 litres. You can only get the 2 litres in this car, nor do they do any electrics or hybrids, which is a bit of a shame. Most of these cars do come with 4-wheel drive. If you did go with the D150, which has only got 150 brake horsepower, it's an optional extra. Same with the D180. Luckily this one does come with it. Anything above that, they come as 4-wheel drive as standard. Now we've gone through all of the engine variations, you can actually get different specs, which actually makes it even more complicated. So starting with the E-Pace, which is just a standard one. Then you can get the E-Pace S, where you'll get an updated sat-nav within your infotainment screen. You can go for the SE, where you still get a sat-nav, but you get upgraded leather seats, which are heated and electrically adjustable, as well as a Meridian sound system. And then you can go for the HSC spec, which is this one. Now this has tons of extras. First of all, you get the quilted, updated Windsor leather. You do get keyless go and entry. You do get a digital display for the driver, which is 12.3 inches, as well as the 360-degree parking pack. Probably a few more. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, which you'll get in the S, the SE, E-Pace and the HSE, this whole big car becomes your internet. It becomes a big Wi-Fi hotspot. So say you or your friends need some internet, this car provides it itself. Just connect straight to it. Now let's have a look inside of the car. So this being the HSE spec, it is equipped a little bit better than the standard one. Like how you do get the leather seats throughout. I really love this grab handle. Makes the car feel a little bit sporty, and it's like a little bit of division. This is the driver's area, that's the passenger area. So it kind of breaks up a little bit. The steering wheel is very nice. All the buttons need to be where they should be. You've got your paddle shifts left and right. It is controlled by a 9-speed ZF gearbox, so it's very responsive. Part of the HSE spec, you do have a 12.3-inch digital display for the driver, and it's just nice because if you don't have this, you still have the analog dials with a screen in the middle, but this just makes things a lot better. And the nice thing is I can actually put my sat nav in the middle of my rev counter and my speedometer, so it's very easy for me to see. Moving on to the climate control, I really love how simple it is. It's not hidden in the infotainment screen. Literally, you've got 3 knobs, one for the passenger, one for the driver. I can control my temperature left and right, and the middle one is to control the fan speed. Can't get any simpler than that. You push the button in and that will just turn it all off. Just above that, you have more buttons for your AC, where you want your direction of the heat to come out, through the vents or through the floor. But the one thing I don't like, there's a lot of plastic in this car, and it's not really good quality. For instance, where you go every morning to start your car, you're going to see this quite a lot, and yeah, it's just lacking in quality. I've got to admit, the leather seats and everything else is great, the steering wheel's great, the screens are great, but there's just some areas where they've got some real cheap plastics knocking around. Moving on from the climate control, we will talk about the 10-inch infotainment screen. It's fantastic. It's all touchscreen. I can go left and right. I can go to my sat nav, to my telephone calls, to my music. I can also click on the cameras. Now, this being the HSE spec, I do have 360 degrees cameras, so it makes it really easy to park. I can also hit this button here where it will scan the road for me, find me a parking bay, and do all the parking for me. Just makes life really easy. But the one thing I would say, it's a little bit laggy, it's a little bit slow. This is no way in comparison to the BMW iDrive. Or for instance, I did a Mercedes GLE recently, and they've got updated infotainment screen. That is probably the best I've seen so far. So Jaguar, unfortunately, your infotainment screen, yeah, it is relatively easy to use, but it's not that special. I can connect my Bluetooth to it, so streaming music or my phone calls can be very easy. And one good thing that Jaguar has done, they have now installed Apple CarPlay or Android. So prior to this, they just didn't have any. You couldn't even buy as an option. But now, they've upgraded it. And what you can do to get yours upgraded is take it to a local Jaguar dealer, tell them what you want, and it's more of a software update. So you now can have Apple CarPlay as well as Android. Jaguar does also boast that you get 56 litres of storage in this car. So starting with glove box is actually really big. Loads of space on the door cards. I can put over a litre worth of water in there. I can actually put 2 bottles in there. My centre armrest does lift up, so I've got loads of storage. Down there I've got a 12-volt charging point, micro SIM card, probably for your phone calls, I don't know, as well as the 2 USB points. Here you've got 2 cup holders, but let's say you don't need them. I can actually take this out. And now I've got like a massive bin with a bit of crumbs, but yeah, a massive bin where I can put loads of storage in there. It actually goes a little bit further down, so I can get a few bottles in here. So Jaguar, you've done quite good. There is a lot of storage in this car. Just there, you've got a little bit more storage. I wish that was a charging pad for your phone because it would have been a perfect place to put it. Just up here, you do have a place to put your sunglasses. A lot of cars nowadays do that. Well, I say nowadays, cars from the 80s actually still did that, so it's been around for quite a while. Then you have an SOS button, so if you are stuck, hit that red button, Jaguar will then come and sort you out. One thing I forgot to mention is all of the R-Dynamic logos. So you've got an R-Dynamic logo on your steering wheel, you've got some by the side steps as you enter, and what I really like is the Jaguar logo on the headrests. Just makes that a little bit more sporty. I also do like this white stitching which goes around all of the seats and all of the dashboard, making it feel a little bit more premium. Talking about the seats, they are also electrically adjustable by 18 ways. You do also have memory seats as well, so if you've got 2 or 3 drivers in here, they can save their seats to which one they want. One thing I've noticed when I've been driving this car, that rear view is terrible because it kind of goes down in the back. The window has been designed in a way where I actually can't see much. It's not a good rear view window. Moving on to the rear of the car, now it's good enough space. However, it does feel really dark in it, partly because it doesn't have the panoramic roof going through, but it just feels a little bit enclosed. But space wise, yep, got enough space for my knees here. Height is more than enough. The foot, it kind of goes upwards, so it's a little bit limited for space wise. You do have a centre armrest with some cup holders here in the middle. The seat in the middle is not really good at all. Whoever is the unfortunate person to get the middle seat, they are going to suffer because it is very tight. I mean, yeah, it's really tight. Just down there, you do have a 12-volt charging point, but unfortunately, no USB charging points. And I have seen some of these where you have up to 3 charging points, but this one doesn't have any. Got some nets here to keep your magazines in, all electric windows, and that's the rear. So guys, I always like to do a little bit of research to see what these cars are brand new and what deals are there to be had. So these start brand new at £28,500 and they go all the way up to £46,000 to £48,000 depending on the extras. This one is listed at the moment at £40,000. That's what they start from, being the HSE. But if you did look at a second-hand car which has probably got 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it, probably a year old, you can pick them up as cheap as £24,000. Bear in mind, it won't be the HSE spec, it'll probably be the E-Pace S. But if you want the HSE, they start from about £32,000. So guys, that brings us to the end of my review. I hope you really liked it. I think this is a fantastic compact SUV. It's a great competitor to all of the other ones I mentioned previously. However, I am waiting for them to do a new one on a new platform and a new chassis, because this does weigh 1.8 kilos. You just saw that chap going behind me. But anyway, I'm going to carry on. It weighs 1.8 kilos, sorry, tons, and you can really feel the weight when you're going around the corners. It does really bend the tyres. So I'm waiting for them to make a new one where the car will be a little bit lighter. But saying that, this is still also really good on fuel. I've been getting 36 miles to the gallon, and that's a little bit of me pushing it and taking a little bit gently. But if you did like my review, please do subscribe. Do hit the bell notification button for new videos. And don't forget to follow me at Bobby Drives. See you later.